Hey guys, my name is Matsuki. Today I wanted to discuss the radar perk in Vanguard that grants the user red dot indicators of unsuppressed gunfire on your minimap. Now I'd like to say that I am a Call of Duty player who started off on Modern Warfare 3. My favorite CODs, gameplay wise, have been the Jetpack Call of Duties, but I'm also a big fan of Modern Warfare 2019. I'm not an inexperienced COD player, but what I'm about to say may be shocking to some of you. I don't think red dots on your minimap need to be standard. Please hear me out. Modern Warfare 2019's minimap was different. Instead of a classic minimap, they disabled red dots and added a compass that showed you the direction of red dots. Also, personal radars and UAVs worked like a normal classic UAV. But what I did was adapt, by learning the angles of exposure, layouts, and locating players with my compass and using my ears because Modern Warfare had excellent directional gunfire audio. That's something Vanguard is currently lacking. I know Sledgehammer Games has addressed audio issues, so expect them to be fixed by launch. But hey, seriously, if you guys aren't confident in Sledgehammer Games' ability to fix audio issues by launch, by all means, do not pre-order. It's as simple as that, but I digress. The main complaints I've seen surrounding Vanguard's radar perk are it's a clutch perk, and that red dots showing unsuppressed weapon fire should be a standard feature. And I'm not against red dots being standard, but I'm a huge fan of playing devil's advocate. I also like to double check things. So the claim, radar will be a clutch perk, means you'll be at a significant disadvantage without that perk. Kinda like if dead silence became a perk in Modern Warfare 2019. Footsteps in that game by default are super audible, so dead silence fully countering very loud footsteps would be a no-brainer perk to use, right? But it's not really like that with Vanguard. Radar may give you red dots on your minimap, but everyone already has a compass that tells you where all the action is taking place, unless people are using subsonic ammunition. If I hadn't said this already, I'll say it now. The subsonic ammunition behaves just like a silencer from any other Call of Duty. It keeps you off the radar and the compass. Now you might say radar is way better than any other perk in Perk 2, like High Alert, Tracker, Forward Intel, and Piercing Vision, which was not in the first weekend of the beta, but it will be in Perk 2 later on. To that, I must ask, what do all these perks have in common, and are there many counters for each perk? To answer my first question, what I think the perks share is an equal form of awareness. High Alert pulses a yellow border at the edge of your screen when an enemy outside your field of view is looking at you. Radar shows red dots on the minimap when an enemy fires an unsuppressed weapon. Forward Intel pings enemies when they spawn in, and your minimap covers a larger portion of the map. That'll be more useful when UAVs are up. Tracker, which shows enemy footprints and shows you enemy death locations with red skulls. On top of that, you also can hide enemy death locations for the enemy team, so they won't be able to see a white skull when you kill their teammates. And lastly, Piercing Vision. What that apparently does is it puts a red dot above enemies that you've looked at. It's kind of like the recon drone's ability in Modern Warfare 2019. All your teammates will be able to see marked enemies briefly, and through walls too. So yeah, awareness. Each basically helps locate enemies easier. Now to answer my second question, I think the counters to each of these perks is just as important, if not more, when determining if the radar perk is clutch, and more powerful than the other perks. Starting with High Alert, there doesn't seem to be a counter yet. Then we got radar. This perk actually has two counters. Subsonic ammunition, it disables any minimap ping when firing, and two, the counter UAVs disable your minimap altogether. To be fair, CUAVs disable your compass too. Personally, I would change that so that you don't feel as helpless, but that isn't the case with Vanguard currently. Next up, we got Forward Intel. Its only counter is CUAVs. Now, something you may not know about the CUAV in this game is that it does not stack, meaning if your teammates call in theirs first, you'll have to wait until theirs is destroyed or until its timer runs out. But because of this no stacking CUAV feature, counter UAVs may seem to last longer, meaning the radar perk and the Forward Intel perks may be both at a potentially larger disadvantage. Next up we have Tracker. There also doesn't seem to be a counter with this perk yet, but there does seem to be a bit of an overlap with Tracker and subsonic ammunition, both hide enemy death locations. I would keep that in mind while creating a class, because if that was the main selling point for Tracker, you might want to just use one of your pick 10 gun attachment slots on subsonic ammunition, and then select a different perk too. Lastly, we got Piercing Vision, and yes, there is a counter. Its counter is a low profile perk in Perk 1. It specifically says immune to the effect of Piercing Vision, along with the ability to avoid detection by enemies. Which might just mean enemy streaks like the Glide Bomb might not see you, just like a cold-blooded perk in other CODs. Now that we know all the downsides, I think it's very safe to say that the Radar perk is not overpowered. It's a pretty useful perk, but I personally think that High Alert will help you out more in more situations. For High Alert does not require enemies to shoot to reveal themselves, and it does not have any counters, whereas Radar has 2 major counters. To conclude, I think that it's nice that Radar is a perk for those who missed it dearly in Modern Warfare 2019. People still may prefer Radar over High Alert, and that's fine by me. But I still stand by my claim that it isn't a clutch perk like some of the vocal creators and Twitter users are making it out to be. You want to know something that's actually clutch in Vanguard? Take a look at armor. I do not give a single shit. That should not be in COD multiplayer at all. As a streak, as a field upgrade, as a perk, as equipment, or as a specialist ability, nah. All it does is create an inconsistent time to kill. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please stop complaining about Radar being clutch or OP. It simply isn't. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It would be greatly appreciated. I hope you all have an amazing day. Also make sure to subscribe for more, and peace out, homies.